You know what time it is. 2024 Handball Blitz, the official podcast. Welcome back, listeners. It's your boy Nick Davis, third pick in the 2004 National Handball Draft. I'm joined, as always, by the bad boy of the courts, Lockie Two Hand Sands. Lockie, welcome back.
Thank you. Junior League State School runner-up 2008-2009, Vikram Janapathy, still to this day.
Never
haunts
forget.
me in my dreams.
Never forget, but always keep chasing those rivals. And the man who always sits between Queen and Dunce, it's Mitch, the Prince Lewis.
Hello, yes.
Hello.
Good Redlands B-grade champion, but a champion's still a champion,
Hey,
okay? You don't have to be an
we'll
A-grade
take
to be
that.
a champion.
Okay? Getting it done out on the east side. Well, we're into week 3 now of Handball Blitz. We're getting closer and closer. And I've got to say, I don't know how you found on the streets this morning. We'll get to it soon, Mitch. But conditions just getting a bit better. Starting to feel a bit of that early spring that hits the Brisbane courts. So kids are waking up in the morning now. They're a little bit more excited now. They've beaten winter, I reckon. And now it's time to really just open up the shoulders and play some free-flowing handball.
Yeah, well, the bounce is different this time of year. I think just, sometimes, you're driving to work and you can see that the sun rises a little earlier between a Monday and the previous Friday. It feels like that for handball. I feel like the game is different than what it was at the end of last week. So the kids are waking up and it's got that extra bit of bounce. The cold isn't impacting the ball. It's not as much of a rock. Despite the tremendous balls that we have put together for Handball Blitz 2024, it's just got that little bit of extra pep in its step for Southeast Queensland handball. So...
Well, Lockie, as someone who did grow up in the mean streets of Jindalee, you know throughout the winter you get those hand calluses. That's why you start training early. That's the pre-season coming into Handball Blitz. If you can really just firm up that forehand, you're ready to go when it comes onto the hand a little bit softer through late July and August.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about conditioning the hands, and there's quite a regime in terms of getting that moisturizer on the hands, just to keep them soft, just to keep them ready to absorb the ball. And sometimes, you will develop some calluses, but that's just part of the game.
That's right. You wear them as battle scars. Now, Mitch, we took it to the north side this morning, out to, in the Heights.
Yep.
In the Heights. Yeah, that's right. Stafford Heights State School was our venue this morning. And, Mitch, one of the OGs as well.
Yeah, they were there from the very inception of Handball Blitz a couple of years back, and so they're very happy to have us back out there. I want to say though, the attitude has changed out there a little bit. I mean, there was
a good change, hopefully.
Well, I think a good change for them, concerning maybe for the rest of the competition.
Okay.
We went out there a couple of years ago, and it was like the rest of the competition. It was all excitement, right? Everyone's out there, the levels are up, and everyone was sort of feeling the same feelings. Whereas this year, I feel like Lockie and I have been speaking off air a little bit about the generational switch in Handball 2024, but it's the attitude out there at Stafford Heights State School this year, and I mean, dare say it, crossing live to them this morning, they were a little bit quiet, but you could tell that the focus was still there. We got a little bit here, Lockie.
Yep, here we go.
Good morning, Hannah, the mum. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Very well. Now, initially, we were brought out here because of your son, who's a mad handballer.
Yes, he is. Angus Taylor loves playing handball, plays in the kitchen at home, plays at school every other day.
Yeah, and you're just saying off there, you're looking to avoid some kitchen handball and mainly just keep it to the courts out here.
Absolutely. I would love them to move out of the kitchen and just play at school. So, this is why we invited Nova here, to encourage them and encourage all of the kids to get to have fun.
And now, is there much chance of that when you've got your daughter next to us? So it's a multi-generational thing out here, guys, at Stafford Heights. So are we going to be, do you think, increasing some kitchen handball there, Maddie? What do we think?
I don't get what you mean.
That's okay. I don't get what I mean either.
Neither
That's
do we,
okay.
mate.
How do you guys... Yes,
You're not alone,
shared by
sweetheart.
Buzz. I mean, you could just sort of hear it there, that the hesitance to answer the question. And I think it's... to go to a film reference, we've seen Rocky IV, right? When they go to Russia, we're talking Ivan Drago, and you can tell that behind the scenes, they're cooking something.
Absolutely.
But it's what they allowed the cameras to see and to record, which was what it told a different story. And I think that's the deal with Stafford Heights State School. What they allowed us to see, you could tell they're hiding something there. So they've got something going on. They're brewing something. And I don't know whether they're just coming back from a vengeance. They haven't been at the lofty heights at Suncorp Stadium in the grand final the last couple of years. And I think being one of the OG schools that brought Handball Blitz to their area, they feel like they deserve more. They feel like they've achieved more, and they could reach more heights this year, being Stafford Heights. And I think that they're going to be ones to watch for in 2024.
Well, of course, with such a rusted-on fan base as well. We talk about those lifelong Northsiders. they've seen the program for so long. And you can understand that the fans are maybe getting a little bit restless, but that's what you want to hear, knowing that your school is building behind the scenes. And yeah, sometimes you don't want to come out and just announce your intentions. You don't want to say, yeah, we're heading straight to the grand final this year. Sometimes that little calm, sort of collected view is what actually gives a bit of closure to as we said, quite a restless fan base. Now, Lockie, just going quickly to you. First of all, thank you to Hannah Taylor, who nominated both Maddie and Angus there. We talk about the great dynasties as well, and maybe siblings in the schoolyard. Now, I love to see that, and playing in the kitchen as well. Again, you work with your environment, don't you?
Well, this is the thing I'm a little bit confused about, because obviously pickleball, I guess a rival sport to handball, they're known for having.
I honestly don't even acknowledge it.
Well,
I know Lutzie's leading a separate sort of rebellious charge, but we don't talk about it here.
No, I know. I'm a little bit confused because the kitchen is a key part of the pickleball court, and I wonder whether some of this terminology, this cross-contamination, is confusing a little bit, because we obviously don't want to be playing handball in the kitchen if that's on the pickleball court.
We don't want cross-contamination in the kitchen ever, Lockie. But
no.
It did make me think of the kitchen surface there. Of course,
yes.
I don't know about you, but I maybe saw like a lino sort of flooring there. Now that depends what part of Brisbane you're in. You know, sometimes if you're out in some of the more affluent areas, it probably it's like an Italian polished marble or something like that. But it just depends. But I love to see that you bring what you know from your home onto your home court, and that can really make the difference at the end of the day.
Yeah, it really can. I just wanted to give a shout out, obviously, to Miss Jo Jardine, who's the PE teacher out at Stafford Heights, and the program that she's running seems to be quite excellent. It seems so far. You've got the sibling rivalry of the Taylors, and then, as you were saying, Mitch, before, this new generation, this intergeneration type thing they've got going on.
Well, each location, you know that they're a collective unit. They support the school itself, but you can just sniff a little bit of rivalry that, hey, these kids, before they could reach the top grade of the sport, they were happy to support these kids in grade 5, grade 6, the seniors at their schools. But now that these grade 2, 3, 4s are getting older and coming in, and we're just seeing the veterans in 5 and 6, they've been playing for years. They've shown what they can achieve, what they can do out on the court. And these young kids, they want to take their spot. It's not out of disrespect. If anything, it's out of the utmost respect. They've seen what their seniors have offered, and they want to say that they can do it, and do it maybe a little bit better. I don't think that the rivalry is going to come at a cost of some type of unity at the school, at each location, but it's making for an exciting competition.
As we said, the Ward brothers, the Lewis brothers in the front yard throwing the footy. You know what it takes to go through there. Now, speaking of respecting your elders and those that have gone before you, Mitch, I believe maybe later this week I will be visiting the next Handball Blitz primary school.
Yeah, I'm going undercover a little bit for the rest of the week.
Yeah, we've sent you on a mission.
Yeah. I mean, I dare say it might be a little bit Stafford Heights State School related. Exactly. But I'm going deep because they said no cameras, no microphones. So if I want to be entrenched in their training regime, I've got to go dark for a couple of days. So Nick, thank you very much for stepping up to the plate and going out and doing the rounds.
Now, what were your tips and advice for sort of young up and coming reporters heading out onto the Handball Blitz scene? Because you can be safe here in the studio, but when you're out there on the streets in the Heights. Thank you, Lockie. I need your tips and tricks here. Especially controlling a big crowd of, vibrant primary school kids who are just bursting at the seams with handball energy, because if you lose them, you don't get them back.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And I think, I would have given you a different answer on Friday than what I would have done now. It's not so much about what you do see, it's what you don't see. And I think they know where they're wanting to push you and direct you. Hey, here are the kids. They're in your court. No pun intended there, of course, in the great game of handball. But you want to keep an eye on the faculty members, maybe even the parents that are actually there whispering in the ears of some of our competitors that aren't in front of you, that haven't been pushed forward for media duties. It's why aren't they here? Why are they not the ones answering questions? And what are you guys doing behind closed doors at school? How much of the curriculum is dedicated to handball? It's one thing for you to tell us, but what are you hiding? And that's why I'm going to investigate underground, and you're going to go do it in the public viewing. And we should compare notes when I get back next week.
I look forward to it greatly. Of course, Handball Blitz 2024, doing it all for Lily's Little Lunchbox, making mornings a breeze with Lily's Little Lunchbox. Home delivered ready-made lunch packs that stay fresh in your fridge for the whole week. And look, we can show it. We had them in the kitchen. We all had a little sample, and all the lasagna, it just went down a treat. Now, this is the kind of fuel that the kids are getting in the schoolyard. Then Oh, wowee. I mean, it's different than the nutrition that we used to have, Lockie, the old the fruit roll-ups and
The big M's.
tiny teddies. I mean, yeah, sure, we went hard for 5 minutes, but we crashed afterwards. This is long, slow building energy that's just going to power the next generation of handballers. So thank you very much. We'll be out on the streets a little bit later on. Mitch, good luck on your mission undercover. Of course, Mitch, the Prince Lewis right there, and Lockie, two-hand sands behind. And Lockie, as we always say here on the Handball Blitz podcast,
we always do
that's
say
exactly what we say.
do say that.
That's exactly what we say.
Before we wrap up, I just want to give one final shout out to Stafford Heights State School because they are doing something different out there. They are doing, as you said before, Mitch, respect, motivate, and empower is their motto, and they like to aim high. But the thing about handball is you can't aim too high. So they've actually modified the school motto to aim for the square. Which
I like it. I like it a lot.
I like to hear that. I also want to give a shout out, especially to a couple of these entries that we're getting through on the Nova Player app right now. We're getting entries from Summer Newton at Dutton Park. She wants to get involved in this tournament because she loves to have fun and play all the boys in her school. They challenge her to be even better. So we might be heading out to Dutton Park later on this week.
That's it.
That could be the one.
Spread the gospel.
Zach Buchanan at Purdue College. He's back. He's going to be bigger and better this year.
The cannon.
He's aiming for a Suncorp finale, so that could be massive from Zach Buchanan. And finally, Alexis Baptiste. She's from Birley Steiner School, and she wants to be Brisbane's best.
Oh, the Steiner skid cool. What's happening to my words this morning? Sorry, I'm just excited.
No, I know.
But those Steiner skid school. All right, Lockie, just get me out of here, mate.
Those Steiner kids' schools, they know what it takes to be Brisbane's best.
We'll players.
We'll find out all about that as we forge on and look to find Brisbane's best handballer. You can get involved, register right now on the Nova Player app or Nova FM for your chance to have Nick come out and visit your school. And we'll be back later on this week on the Handball Blitz podcast.